Hello, YouTube. It is I, Toxic Tomato Tank, coming back at you with another video. Here today, we will be talking about some things that I think Halo Studios needs to do in order for their next mainline Halo game to succeed. Whether if it's going to be called Halo Infinite 2, which I strongly doubt. I'm sure it'll have a completely new name. I doubt it'll be called Halo 7. But yeah, we're going to talk some things about that because we all know how fucking unbelievably lacklustered, underwhelming, and overall pathetic on 343 Industries on how they delivered the content for Halo Infinite. The game was just lacking in content. And I'm mostly talking about the campaign. The multiplayer was just as bad, honestly, when you think about it. I think the multiplayer only launched like 5 maps. That was terrible on its own. But anyway, I'm going to talk about some things that I want to see in the next Halo game. And I'm going to start with, obviously, diverse locations in the campaign. So in the next campaign, I'm hoping that we get more diverse locations, such as like snow, beaches, woods, more alien architects, Forerunner stuff, flood biomes, stuff like that, basically. It would be really nice to see stuff like that, just overall more diverse locations, because in Halo Infinite, it was like 2 or 3 different areas at most. I don't even want to count Zeta Halos inside and out. It's just the same shit, honestly, but it is where it is on that. So hopefully Halo Studios gets that part right. And now the next thing, I would love to see returning weapons and new weapons. One thing I have a really big problem with Halo Infinite is the amount of weapons it got rid of for no reason. I can't, like, they really need to start just bringing back all the weapons and stop getting rid of weapons. Like, I want the plasma rifle back. I want the SMGs back. I even want the saw back. That's my favorite 343 weapon. I would love to see that weapon come back too. And don't even get me started with the freaking Spartan laser. That weapon should have never have been removed from the game, period. I don't understand why they did that. It's so out of left field. And them removing that game completely fucked up the way you should take out vehicles in that game, because they completely fucked up the balance with their shock grenades and with the electricity, the way it's like, it just ruins it, in my opinion. Terrible. But yeah, I want to see more weapons, and not only just new weapons. I would like to see them go back to what they did on Halo 5, like how they did the weapon variants. Like, for example, with the saw, you had the answer, which would shoot, which was the best variant, which would shoot like exploding rounds. I thought that was awesome. I wish they would bring that back. Like, Halo Infinite did have that, but it didn't have it nowhere near as much as Halo 5 did, which, again, they backpedaled on content on that. Why is there less content in weapons terms compared to Halo 5? Like, it doesn't make sense. The biggest thing I can say is the lack of content should not exist with the next Halo game. The next Halo game needs to have a lot of content. Lots of content in that game. It has to have it. And not only weapons, but vehicles. Yes, I want to see a lot of new vehicles as well. Also, that includes vehicle variants. I don't know why, but why hasn't 343 taken any of the vehicles from Halo Wars 1 or Halo Wars 2 and put them in the mainline Halo games? I don't understand why they haven't done that yet. I want to see Halo Wars vehicles come into the mainline games now. I want to see the Grizzly tank. That's my biggest thing I want to see coming in the game, is the Grizzly tank. And there's also other vehicles such as the Wolverine, the Cobra, the Kodiak, the Jackrabbit, even what's that one called? The Sparrowhawk. There's other things, the Vulture. Like, the Nightingale. There's so many different vehicles from Halo Wars that they can use, and I don't understand why they don't. And it's crazy. And one of the ways I would love to see them interact it to the game is, so in Halo Infinite you have the rescue base, the FOB, basically, and I would like to see them expand on that, make it more like the fire base from Halo Wars. Like in Halo Infinite, you can call down some certain vehicles, certain weapons, stuff like that. But what if you could call down like ODSTs, a squad of Marines, stuff like that, or vehicles that actually have the drivers in it, like more vehicles to call and stuff like that, more weapons, obviously. That would be freaking awesome. I would love to see them do more with the FOB bases from Halo Infinite. You could basically make that the entire like fire base, and you can actually do more stuff, like have like side missions with them where you have to defend the base from like hordes of enemies, stuff like that. And I'll get into enemies next actually. So, speaking of enemies, I would love to see more different factions of enemies instead of just the banished. So with Halo Infinite, with quote unquote with the name Infinite instead of being, I was hoping that Halo Infinite would have had multiple factions to fight against. In Halo 5, you at least had the Covenant and you had Prometheans. In Halo Infinite, you just had the Banished. I don't really count the Forerunner Sentinels. That's just some stuff that we've already dealt with in past Halo games. That doesn't really count. Like that, those are just the Sentinels are just a given to be in Halo games, honestly. Especially since it took place on a Halo ring. They don't count as really like the Prometheans do. But I would like to see more factions to fight against. There's still Remnant Covenant beside, even though Julman Dama was eliminated. There's still Remnant Covenant factions out there. I would like to see that the Banished. I would like to see the Prometheans come back, but bringing the Prometheans back can be a whole different video topic. I would like them to come back, more fun to fight instead of fucking being a bunch of fucking bullet sponges. But I digress. I would also like to see the Flood come back as well. And I know there's also the Cortana's created. I don't know if that counts as the Prometheans or if it's actually something different, like an alliance, like the way Halo 5 made it sound like it was going to be. I have no idea. But that's just another thing I would like to see. More fucking enemies, more factions to fight against. And I would like the factions to actually feel like armies. Like the biggest problem with the Prometheans, and well, not the biggest, but one of the problems with the Prometheans in Halo 5, they didn't feel like an army. They felt more like a cult you were fighting or something. They didn't give up that military vibe, really. They needed vehicles, more air stuff, like just more stuff to make it feel like you're fighting an army. And the Banished in Halo Infinite did not have enough vehicles. That Halo Wars 2 had so many different vehicles for the Banished to use, and it used literally none of it, basically, or at least it's what it felt like. Again, lacking content has to be gone in the next Halo game. So, the next thing. Here's another thing. This is something more of a personal thing that I would like to see. But in other video games like big franchise video games like Crash Bandicoot, Sonic, Mario, stuff like that, in those games you can unlock skins for the main character by just playing the story mode. I would like to see something for Master Chief, assuming that he's the main character in the next Halo game. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, or whatever. I would like to see, unlockable skins you can get through playing the game for the campaign. I'm specifically talking for Master Chief in the campaign. Just stuff like in like Doomslayer and Doom Eternal, like how he has like 1,000,001 different skins you could have unlocked just from playing the campaign. I would like to see something similar for Master Chief. That would be nice. And also, another thing, I know this is already a thing, but I'm glad that they ditched the slip space engine because, again, I can make a whole nother video on this. I'm pretty sure that's the biggest reason why Halo Infinite was lacking in content was because of that freaking slip space engine. It just wasn't good. And yeah, so the fact that they're going to Unreal 5, I hope it makes it easier for them to put more content in the game as well. So that sums that up right there. All right. So let's talk about a little about the things I would like to see in the multiplayer. Again, these are just things off the top of my head. I'm gonna make way more videos like this describing what I would like to see in the next Halo games and whatnot. So yeah. So in the multiplayer, one thing that I would like to see in the multiplayer is more weapons and vehicles. Same thing as the campaign. I would like to see more of that. And I'm just gonna get to the biggest thing that I want to see in the multiplayer for the next Halo game. I want to see a Warzone like mode like there was in Halo 5, but I want them to take a spin on it and with Invasion from Halo Reach. So basically what I want, this is like my dream mode for Halo multiplayer. I want a UNSC versus Covenant multiplayer where it's Spartans versus Elites. You get and you get a bunch of different things you can do, like you're fighting alongside UNSC Marines, ODSTs, got Pelicans dropping in vehicles, squads of Marines. Same thing for the Covenant, but instead it's Grunts, Jackals, Hunters. And you can also even have Spartan Force for the UNSC too. Like I basically want an all-out war mode, I guess you could say, for that, where you get all the vehicles, weapons. There's a bunch of different AIs going, similar to how Halo 5's Warzone was, but taken up a notch basically. Now there was concept art leaked recently about Warzone 2, which was going to be for or I guess it was called Warzone 2. I'm not sure if it was called that, for Halo Infinite, but you know, that got canned for some reason. Just like all the other fucking extra content, apparently. I don't know what the fuck 343 was doing. It still just baffles me with that. It's just it's just insane how lack of content Halo Infinite was. So this was basically just a video of me saying what I want to see in the next Halo Infinite game. I know it's not the best video, obviously. I don't got time to make scripted videos yet, but that will be coming soon. But those are just some things I want to see in the next Halo game. I really, 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 really want to see like a Warzone return, like but with an invasion twist on it. I think that would be awesome. But that's where I'm gonna end that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I am trying to post daily videos. If you enjoy me yapping, of course, please do. And I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.